In this video, we will use Livewire segmentation for segmenting the channels in the wood dataset that we had previously used. So what we'll do here is we'll try and segment this channel here using Livewire segmentation. So we will be using curves, and this is the help for the curves. So this is the general help, then Livewire. So what is Livewire? So Livewire segmentation essentially tracks the minimal energy path, or in this case, what I've done is tracks the high gradient magnitude ridges in the data. And here is the help for the mouse and keyboard. Okay, so let's tweak the transfer function so that we can see these borders here cleanly. So let's flip the transfer function so that we have a nice boundary for this one. Okay, so let's now start tracking. Use the Livewire to segment this region. So let me take that 3D view out here, and let me also remove the transfer function. So if you look at the transfer function now, let me remove the fibers. We had generated fibers in one of the previous help videos, you will see. So I'll just set the fibers to 0 so that we don't see any fibers. So I don't want to see any fibers, so I'll just set it to 0. And what we will do is we'll set it to tags. So these are the tags here, and we will be drawing one of the curves on this side. Okay, so let's set this tag value to say 4. So it will be this color here. Let's just make it a bit paler. Okay, and now let's start using the Livewire. So for the Livewire, what we do is we just set the seeds or the anchor points along the path that we want, and the intermediate points would be automatically calculated. So let's set the first anchor point here. So left click, and then I can start moving this curve here. I'm just moving the cursor, and then setting up the seed points using left click, and then press spacebar to connect the last seed point, which is this one here, to the first seed point. So spacebar, and we have set the, so this is where we have got the curve, this one here. Let's go to another one here. So here I'm just moving the cursor, and the curve will be drawn automatically. So for example, if I move it here around, so it's this is the minimal energy path as calculated by the algorithm, and then I can similarly here. Now this is a very simple example, but in subsequent videos we will see more complicated examples. So this one breaks here, so we'll go from here. Similarly go up. Now these points here, the size of those points is governed by this parameter here. So This is just for display. So let's go up and connect. And connect. So we have these curves here, which is as can be seen here. Let me just change the color of the tag so that it is distinct. From the other tags. So this is the new tag color. And what we would like to do now is just interpolate between these curves. To interpolate, we just select all the curves. To select a curve, press spacebar. So these are the levels at which we had drawn the curves. So this is the curve, press spacebar, and the curve is selected. So here it is. I am pressing the spacebar. As you can see, this curve is selected. Similarly here, spacebar, this curve is selected, and so on. Now, in order to select all the curves within a particular range, so if I want to select curves between this range and say this range, so what I do is use spacebar along with shift key. So shift and then spacebar. So what this will do is it will select all the curves in this range, and then outside the range these curves won't be selected. So you can select a range of curves that you would like to interpolate using shift and then spacebar. What shift and spacebar will do is it will take the curve which is under the cursor and then check its um, select value, whether it is selected or not, and then based on that it will set the select value to if it is selected, then it will set it to not selected, and the other way around if it is not selected. So it's basically a toggle switch. So let's select all the curves in this range. So we have selected all the curves now, and let's interpolate. So this is the interpolate button. What it will do is it will interpolate all the curves that we have selected. So we have selected all the curves here, and let's interpolate them. So this is the interpolated version here. So if I set the transfer function to this, then you will see. And because the data is fairly simple, it's fairly linear, the interpolated curves follow the shape of that region fairly nicely. And these are the interpolated curves here. So if I press I for information, then it will give me the information of the curve. It will give me the length, area, and so on. And same with the fibers. So if I switch to fibers and if I press spacebar, press I for information, then I can get the length of the fiber, the tag, the width, and so on. So pressing information I can get the information for a particular tag, for a particular fiber, or for a particular curve. And for the interpolated curves, I can't get the information. The information you get only if you have drawn the curve using Livewire or one of the other curve options. We don't get information for the interpolated ones. And then you can also generate surface for that curve. So let's also do that. So generate mesh, and I want to mesh only the curve here, this tag here, so 4, and I'm going to use tag color, which is this yellow color, and then tag 4. I don't need to worry about the holes in this one, and it's done. And the tag 4 is this one here. So this is the channel that we